Join me as I dive into the incredible story of the Apostle Peter and challenge myself to uncover the secrets behind his astonishing rise to church leadership. Simon, the fisherman, lived a simple life. He worked hard, knew the sea, and had a family. Life was about boats and nets. One day, everything changed. Jesus, a traveling teacher, came to Simon's village. He spoke with authority and compassion. Jesus saw something special in Simon. Jesus invited Simon to follow him. He promised to make Simon a fisher of men. This was a big decision. Simon had to trust Jesus. He had to leave behind his old life. Simon, now called Peter, became Jesus' disciple. He listened to Jesus' teachings. He witnessed incredible miracles. He saw the sick healed and the blind see. Peter was amazed. He was learning so much. He saw the power of God through Jesus. He grew in his faith. He became a leader among the disciples. But Peter wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. He doubted. He even denied knowing Jesus. But Jesus forgave him. This showed Peter the depth of God's love and mercy. One stormy night, Peter saw Jesus walking on water. "Lord, if it's you," Peter called out, "tell me to come to you." Jesus said, "Come." Peter climbed out of the boat and walked on water. But then he looked at the waves. He became afraid and started to sink. "Lord, save me," he cried out. Jesus immediately reached out and caught him. Jesus told Peter, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" This story reminds us that even when we doubt, Jesus is there to lift us up. Peter, one of Jesus' most prominent disciples, played a crucial role in establishing the Christian church. His journey from a humble fisherman to a cornerstone of faith is both inspiring and transformative. Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do you say I am?" This question was not just a test of their understanding, but a pivotal moment in their spiritual journey. Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." His declaration was filled with conviction and faith, marking a significant moment in the New Testament. Jesus was pleased with Peter's answer. He saw in Peter the unwavering faith and strength needed to lead his followers. He said, "On this rock I will build my church." This statement was profound, symbolizing Peter's future role as the foundation of the Christian community. Jesus was making Peter the leader of his church. This was not just an honor, but a monumental responsibility that Peter would carry for the rest of his life. This was a huge responsibility, but Peter was ready. He had been prepared through his time with Jesus, learning and growing in faith. He had learned from the best. Jesus' teachings had instilled in him the wisdom and courage needed to guide others. After Jesus' death and resurrection, Peter became a bold preacher. He traveled far and wide, spreading the message of Jesus with unwavering determination. He shared the good news of Jesus with courage. His sermons were powerful, touching the hearts of many and converting countless individuals to the faith. He helped build the early church. His leadership and vision were instrumental in establishing the foundations of Christianity. He wrote letters that are still read and studied today. These letters provide insight into the early church's struggles and triumphs, offering guidance and inspiration to believers across generations. On the day of Pentecost, the Holy Spirit filled the disciples, marking a pivotal moment in the early Christian church. The disciples, who had been waiting in Jerusalem as Jesus instructed, were suddenly empowered by the Holy Spirit. Peter, emboldened by this divine power, stood up and preached to the crowd that had gathered. His words were not just his own, they were inspired by the Holy Spirit. He spoke with power and conviction, his voice carrying the message of salvation and hope. His passion was evident and his words resonated deeply with those who listened. Thousands of people believed in Jesus that day, moved by Peter's powerful testimony. It was a moment of mass conversion, a testament to the transformative power of the Holy Spirit. However, this newfound faith came with its challenges. Peter faced danger and persecution for his faith. The early Christians were often met with hostility and violence, but Peter never stopped sharing the love of Jesus. Despite the threats and the dangers, he continued to preach the gospel with unwavering determination. He knew that he was following God's plan. His prayers for guidance were answered with a sense of divine purpose that kept him going, even in the face of adversity. Peter traveled far and wide, spreading the message of Jesus to different lands. His journeys were filled with both triumphs and trials, but he remained steadfast in his mission. He faced opposition at every turn, but he remained strong in his faith. His resilience was a source of inspiration for many early Christians who looked up to him. He led with courage and compassion, always pointing people to Jesus. His leadership was marked by a deep love for others and a commitment to the teachings of Christ, making him a true pillar of the early church. Peter's life teaches us about faith, resilience, and the power of transformation. His journey from a simple fisherman to a foundational leader of the early church is a testament to the incredible changes that faith can bring. We learn that it's okay to make mistakes, as Peter did many times. What matters is that we turn back to Jesus, seeking forgiveness and striving to do better. Peter's story inspires us to be bold in our faith, to step out of our comfort zones, and to trust in God's plan for us. He shows us that God can use ordinary people to do extraordinary things, no matter their past or their perceived limitations. Peter was eventually martyred for his faith, a profound act of devotion and courage. He died because he loved and followed Jesus, unwavering in his commitment even unto death. His life and death are a powerful example for Christians today, reminding us of the cost of discipleship and the rewards of a life lived for God. We can learn from his journey and strive to live lives that are pleasing to God, embracing our own paths with faith, courage, and a heart open to transformation.